everyone receives is a reflection of us. I want to dive into the meaning of cash. Now, it's a boring subject, but I think it's something that we all need to take into account. So, when we look at cards, paying by card, we all know that there's a service charge on the machine to the small business owner. And then by the time it gets through all the banks and the fees and the charges to get into the pocket, it's worth less than the transaction. So the banks win out. Basically, the banks keep getting money for nothing. And they charge rent and have the loans for people. It's an endless cycle. We know what it's about. But you see, I was thinking about it, and if everyone paid cash, now let's say there is no theft or greed amongst people and people don't steal in the world. We just know things are other people's, or we help, or we just have that kind nature. So let's say you use cash everywhere. What is the need for a bank? Well, basically a safe. Somewhere to store the money. That's all you need it for. So, a place that is safe for you, or basically just to house it. So, if you pay in cash and you keep that cash, let's say within your own bank, your own safe, maybe a vault, then you use that money to buy the things you need. And then that goes to the person and they keep that safe. Remember, there's no theft or greed here. It's just using currency for what it is, trade. If you want to buy something for $1,000, you give that person $1,000 and then they keep that. I suppose when you look at it and you go, well, cash is used for trade and for barter. It has no purposeful value apart from the value we place upon it for someone's time or effort for things. So it is a unit that is being given value. And you see, then you won't need banks. If you're a small business owner, maybe you're a large business owner and you need a place to store large levels of cash, then maybe there is room for a place that can store that cash. You see, I think that is how, when it's backed by gold, you store gold, right? So the cash that people has is backed by gold. I think that's, if we look into it, how it was all there. But let's say it's not. Let's say gold is used for something else and you just have cash as the backing system. Then there is opportunity for a place to store it. But that's all it needs to do. Maybe there's a small fee for storing it per month or for so long. But that's it. No need for stuff, because people who store in someone else's place, that person needs to make money too. But everything is equal. Everything is there. So you see, if cash is stored amongst people, there is no need for banks and loans. You see, it only gets problematic when you don't have money to buy for something or to pay for something. So you need a loan. This is bigger than just cash and money in society. But you see, that's just it. Let me say to you, do you think that a teenager, 17, 18, 16, doesn't matter, of working age, works 2 days a week at one job, 2 days a week at another job, and maybe 1 day a week or 2 days a week at another, just so that they can earn enough to go and study from school or to pay and have fun? So they spend 1 day a week having fun, or all of the other days studying, and then to work so that they pay that. It just doesn't seem right. It doesn't sound right. No one should have to do that. And to me, it's outdated. You see, a long time ago, I started turning into the digital cash because it was easier to do, easier to manipulate, easier to handle. So it was a slow increment into it to slowly phase people away from the cash to go digital. But people forget it doesn't take generations, it can take just 100 years to phase in a new plan, and people have that time. You can take away the power of things by just being. You don't end something or start something new. You use what works. It saves so much time. Cash does work. It benefits us right now, absolutely. We just need to be able to use it in a way where you break free of societal ideas around it. We know what things cost. We know what time costs in labor, in effort, in materials. But you see, we've placed our time, our effort, our skill, our education, and we've given it a price, a value. What are we worth in monetary value? And that goes up based upon societal trends. How food is petrol, then everything goes up. Our price and our time goes up to match that trend. But when it goes down, do the prices of things drop? Does your time or your price drop, or does it stay the same? Even though maybe that product is worth less now, and supply versus demand. You see, things are only worth what we put a value to them. If you could buy a car for $100, it's a bit of a stretch, but let's say 1,000. You could buy a brand new car for $1,000. Why? Because the parts are cheaper. Maybe they're only $10 each. Maybe when we go and buy a house, it's only worth this much. If everyone did it, there'd be no need for massive expenses, for struggling people to buy something, because you can get paid in a quantity. You see, that's where our governments were designed to help us do that, to create ways to better humanity in such as standards of living. Instead of making people work to buy their own house, which is not even their own, and take all the taxes from them. This is barbaric. No, our government who take these taxes from these times, they should be giving houses to people. We are here on this earth, so here, we support you with the house. There are things that we pay, there are things that we do to support the betterment. But these massive expenses with the billions of dollars running through it, this would be a better use of the money. You don't need so many people in parliament making these massive decisions. No, the people and the businesses and the world's economical places are the ones that thrive during this. And all this stems from using cash. And the value we place upon things. When the world is digital and your payment is digital, it is more convenient, yes. But why? Why is it more convenient? Because you can transfer things to other people. You don't have to drive there. Sure. Then surely we can create a system where if you needed to pay a bill and it was online, there's a system where you can transfer money you have and you can send it. And maybe every home has a area that is able to print money. We don't know. It's not fraudulent. It's just there. So if somebody wants to send you money, they can send it, but it comes out in cash. Why not be optimistic? Why not be thinking of these things? Because if we don't allow ourselves, our mind to expand, then we are still operating in the system. We're still falling under the idea that no, it can't work that way because that's the way it's been taught in economics or in social sciences or whatever it is that covers these topics. It's conditioning. And that's what it's breaking free from. So, this is what I mean when I say things like, you don't have to start new from everything. We take what works, we adapt it, we create new technologies to make it work better. But it allows people more control over situations. It allows for areas of error in technology. I mean, why does everything have to cost so much? If you stand outside of that thought and observe it for a few moments, I think you'll start to pinpoint and highlight the reasons why it is possible. Or maybe not. And with that, peace and love. Take care.